All right. Good morning and welcome to I Am Sure Sports. I am Omar Stennett. Again, I'm extremely delighted to have you joining us this morning for this live show that we'll be doing, focusing on the National Senior Track and Field trials that should be coming up in a couple of weeks. Starts on the 24th of June and ends on the 27th. And so looking forward to that. And we'll have a couple of special guests with us this morning. And so I will introduce them shortly. But before we do that, though, let me just stop the talking and just give you a little snippet of I Am Sure Sports by playing a clip we have here done by Kim Righteous, a Jamaican American out of Baltimore um, in the USA. So just listen up and see what's going.
I am sure sports. You know me there, from coast to coast representing. I mean, I say this is righteous representing for Omar. You don't know, come get your sports over here from near and far. Boy. Me say I am sure sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over here. Come subscribe, repost and share. I am sure sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over here. Come subscribe, repost and share. If me not sure, that me not say it. Know who score, that me not say it. Never know no game play, that me not say it. If me never see no game, me no know who play. For your sports news, better come over here so. For your soccer news, then come over here so. If you don't love sports, still come over here so. For the day done, you a go love over here so.
So when it comes on to behavior concerning football, Jamaica is is decent. I am sure that if we can get all of these things done, set in place by the end of April, it gives us enough time before the World Cup campaign. Not afraid of no Brazil, no Argentina with these crapper players. We are good enough. Remember to like, subscribe, share. Listen, comment. Let me know what your thoughts are.
All right. Well, welcome again, people. Good to have you one more time. I need to take these guys out of this small corner and put them in the big space. There you go. And so I can run the small space. But welcome again to Mr. Sean Law Grant. I'm in illustrious company this morning, so I'm extremely delighted. And I know these guys are probably very tired after sitting up, watching the Jamaica game, even when they were down 2 goals to 0, and it looked like it was going to be 12, they were still watching. I can see it in their eyes, but we're not going to talk any football this morning because it's not so much good. We're going to talk some track and field, and I have with me Sean Grant, call him one of the track and field guru. When I hear Sean Grant name, I think about Hubert Lawrence and Bruce James, and he's in illustrious company. And we also have Coach Kevion Minzie. He is big man on the coach's desk. I mean, big blogger out there, have a lot of good content, but I'm going to let him speak to that. But he also coaches at St. Jago High School. He's part of the girls coaching program there, but they know more about themselves than me. So I'm going to ask Sean first to just tell a little bit about him and where you can listen to his podcast. And yeah, Mr. Grant, your time.
A special good morning to you, sir. Or sirs, I can say. Our coach means that's a bouncy mid, so I can really try to do. Well, it's just a small synopsis, though. But most persons will know me from KLS. Worked there like 15, 16 years, basically. So I worked, but I'm still working for them in a certain capacity, not like I was there before. But podcast in terms of my YouTube channel, Sean's Law, that's why I use that as my name this morning. That's actually what I do in terms of speaking about different sporting disciplines. I don't like the intro though of putting me in the category of Bruce James and Hubert Long. No, I'm not in that category. Far from that. Well, because they are aficionados of track of the field, but they're the best of the lot, I think, around the globe, not necessarily in Jamaica. So I'm not there just yet. But the thing is, in terms of track of the field and other sporting disciplines, I'll give my law or my interpretation of certain happenings with that on my channel. So that's basically what I do in terms of online. But in terms of radio, we do everything. Every sporting discipline, covering every sporting discipline, do commentary, producing, and the lot.
Okay, so it's called Sean's Law, right?
Right.
And that's on. Is it a podcast? Is it on YouTube?
YouTube. It's on
Or
YouTube.
it's on YouTube. That's a channel on YouTube.
Yeah.
All right, so people hear that, just find it right now and go and subscribe and hit the notification bell so whenever there's a video, you can you can support Sean's channel. All right, Coach's Desk, Coach Minzie, tell them a little bit about you. I told Sean that you're a coach, and he kind of asked what program because there are several different sporting disciplines that they do here at St. Jago. So tell us a little bit about you and also about your channel.
Yeah, man. First of all, morning, gentlemen. I am Sure Sports, aka Mornings Man. Thanks for having me on your program. Really appreciate it. And good morning to your viewers out there. Well, first and foremost, yes, I coach at St. Jago High School, the girls program. Yes, Sean Grant. Yeah, man, you know me, so you're going like you don't know me. Yeah, man. So, good to be in a company, gentlemen. As man in one say, Sean is a guru, so we have to respect that for sure. Basically, I have a YouTube channel, goes by the name Coach's Desk, as seen there. It's where we talk football, it's where we talk track and field. And of course, as Management said, we stayed up last evening to, watch that heart-rending loss. But it's a part of the game. I'm certain, or I am sure, if I could borrow that the Gold Cup will be a better one. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man, it's just basically I'm a real coach. As the name suggests, coach is best. Yeah, man, I'm a real coach. Not just a name coach. So, I mean, basically that's in a nutshell. Nothing much to say. It's just that we love sports and we talk sports, so we're passionate about sports.
All right, wonderful. So persons who are on further on, as we go on, remember you can ask questions and we'll take and read your comments. But what we want to do today is kind of do a preview to some of the events at the national championships. I think next week, Saturday, I have a couple of other persons. Howard Dougherty, don't know if you know him, was a coach at Manning's High School way back in the days when they had Trisha Barnes, Tracy Barnes, Trisha K. Simmons, Vanette Dixon, Alison Beckford. He will be here to give us his views as well. But we want to look at today at just 4 of the events, and also probably to if we have time to look at our performances at the intercollegiate level. I know the NCAA outdoor championships are on. I think on the male side, all the events were completed yesterday. And so today it is on the female side. And I think we have like Kevona Davis, Kemba Nelson, Stacey Ann Williamson, Akira Nugent, and a few others. Go ahead, Sean. Cherokee Young, right. Mr. Why don't go ahead?
No. We have a few. We have a few who may not medal or basically just give a good performance in their respective events though, because a lot of persons are looking at Akira Nugent, and I don't want to jump in just yet or talk too much, but persons were talking about Akira Nugent and running the double of 100 and 100 hurdles. Now, because the 100 is right beside 100 hurdles, she finished one event and then walked right back up to run the next.
In the first heat, to be exact.
Exactly. The persons are stating that, boy, them killing her off. She knew about it. Her coach knew about it. She was asked. She wanted to do it. And the persons on the outside would say, well, the coach should guide her. She wanted to do it, point blank. No, it's not the greatest thing in terms of, because what points Baylor is going to get to win what?
Yeah.
so that question will be posed also. I'm not looking for great times from Akira Nugent because of the workload that she has, but I'm looking for a good performance. Not necessarily winning, but a good performance nevertheless from Akira Nugent in the 100 hurdles, not necessarily in the 100 flat.
Yeah. You have anything to add to that, Coach Minzie?
Yeah, man. I definitely think that she seems tired. She looks tired in my estimation. I mean, as Sean said, she ran the hurdles winning. I believe it was um
7
12
minutes.
point 12.84 thereabout.
Yeah,
Then about 2 minutes after, or or a few minutes after, she was in the first heat of the 100 meters.
100.
She struggled a bit, but I mean, in that struggling, her time would have allowed her to matriculate to the final. I think she'll do better at the hurdles. I think it's her baby event, her pet event. But I mean, she's just gonna probably score points or finish the 100 meters. But if I were the coach, I would definitely try to lead her in the direction of doing the hurdle event. I mean, it's all about points, though I understand that. But as a freshman coming in, I'd focus more on her stronger event, which would have been the hurdle.
Yeah. Because
And
there's
not,
also. Go
and
ahead,
not
Sean.
not to forget about the 4x1 because it's not the two races she did. She did
Oh,
also
Exactly,
4x1.
exactly,
yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, and then there was also Dazay Freeman,
Mm-hmm.
Rosalie Cooper. I
Yeah.
think she was there. Trishana Hemmings. Oh well, she never advanced.
No, she never should advance.
Right, she
No.
never advanced. Right, and then there's a couple other persons who will be Gabriella Bailey.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we have a few athletes. I think on the male side, we never did. I think on the male side, because I checked the track primarily, I didn't realize that we had some athletes in the field. And Sean, you were telling me earlier about a couple of performances we had in the field. So we
But we
don't
had
share that.
had some personal best. Roger Stoner threw 61 meters, which is good.
Mm-hmm.
Gaining a medal. In the men's discus. Clayton Brown,
Clayton Brown, yeah.
had a personal best also in the triple jump, which is also good. Did well in the high jump, cleared the bar 220. Was doing two events at the same time.
Yeah.
So McLeod did the triple jump yesterday, formerly of Kingston College. So not necessarily winning medals, but putting down good
Good
performances.
performances.
And
And
Philip
let us start.
Lemonius on the
Philip
track
Limones did well,
Philip
yeah.
came
Lamona,
third in the hurdles
110.
there.
Yeah, the 110, running
That's the
13.4.
third fastest Jamaican this
That
year.
Yeah, man, that's a personal best from him.
Yeah. But has he reached? I think he ran 13.43. Sure, 13.45. I'm trying to remember, but he's just 100th of a second
Oh, it's yeah,
Outside the
outside of the
qualification.
qualifying mark
yeah.
for the Olympic Games. So he needs to run a little bit faster if he's going to
Mhm.
get that mark.
And
But
there's this new athlete. Well, not new, but probably new to the track and field persons out there. Devontae
Hey,
Burnett.
Burnett.
He has said that he wants to run for Jamaica.
mhm.
He did the 100 and the 200 meters. He didn't factor much, but he advanced to the finals, and he did a pretty decent job. There's also um um Damian Thomas. I think
Mhm.
he was one of the favorite to win that 110-meter hurdles, but he had a very, very poor start that threw off his rhythm, and I think he just finished that race. But I mean, yeah, man, the males were there, but they weren't not that highlighted because of the ones that win and so forth.
I think he hit the nail right on the head for Thomas, though. Um, he sat in the blocks. He didn't get a poor start. He sat in the block. And because of that, he was trying to play catch up. And he hit almost every hurdle, if not every hurdle.
Yes.
And basically just threw him off. That was it for him.
And with
But
the
you
hurdles
expect.
events, Sean, I'm sorry to
Mhm,
cut you. With the hurdles event, we normally tell our athletes to you have to be as quick as possible. Reaction time has to be quick out of the blocks so that you get to
mhm,
the first hurdle. I see, because it is an obstacle event. It is going to be very
mhm.
difficult for you not to
To
reach the first hurdle, and for you to be trying to race.
catch up.
Your rhythm
Yeah.
might throw off when you try to race rather than hurdle and so forth. So it's very difficult in a obstacle race to try and catch up when you have hurdles or obstacles to clear?
Mhm. The star of the championship, any may say, is a young man by the name of Javon Harrison. Now,
The
Javon
43,
Harrison,
the
huh?
43.95.
No,
No,
that's Ross.
he's a, eh,
Oh, that's
he's
us.
a
Okay.
high jumper
Oh
and
yes,
long jumper.
yes. Yeah,
Um,
yes. That's right.
Harrison is, and I don't know if the girls coach could tell you, but his mother went to San Diego.
Listen, Mr. Grant, I'm glad
Hold
you
Yes.
brought
on,
that
hold
up.
on, hold on, hold on, hold on.
I
His
brought up
mother went to
something
San
last night.
Diego.
Go
His
ahead. Yeah.
father went to States.
Yes.
So his parents are Jamaican. I think his
It,
father competed for Jamaica. He ran for States. In fact, he was he competed for the United States at the 2018 World Juniors. And at that time, his name was Javon Blake. Wasn't
Mhm.
Harrison at the time. Was
Right.
Blake at the time because his father's name is Blake from States.
oh,
So
look
however,
at
the name has changed. I don't know why. Not my business. The name has changed to his mother. So now his name is Harrison. His mother is Harrison. So his name has changed from Blake to Harrison in 2 years, within 2 years. And he is a medal hopeful or contender on the senior level for the Olympic Games. Cleared about
He's
2.3.
going to listen. Is he going to represent Jamaica? Because last night,
No, no,
all right,
no, no,
no, all
no.
right. Let me ask. No, just last night, right? I asked this question in a group that I'm in. We scout players in England to come and represent us in football. I know we have a rich track and field, um, you know, thing in
Mm-hmm.
Jamaica, but there are so many athletes, like on the male side in particular, in the States right now, who are excelling, who will not make the American team. That I'm
Mm.
very sure they have some Jamaican connection, like
Not
just like
him.
the English. Huh?
Not him. This is an individual that can make the American team in both events, in not only the high jump but also the long jump. Jumping 8.4
He's
and
very
clearing
good.
about 2.33. This young man
He's very
can make
good.
the American team,
Yeah,
which
man.
I think he will make the American team, especially in the high jump. I don't think he has, in terms of his Fosbury flop, that technique. I don't think he has it done pat
Yeah,
yet.
it's not
But
as
he's
clean as you'd expect.
yeah, but he has a lift. He has
Hmm.
the lift.
Because
And
sorry,
that.
Sean, because when I see him going over the bar, you can see
Mhm.
the distinction with the space
Exactly.
in terms of when he's clearing the bar. The technique might not be, but he gets the lift very, very high, and that's a good look. So once you
Yeah.
clean up the technique, then you'll definitely be a big challenger for big titles.
You see, because someone actually brought up that one of the reasons why some of these athletes don't represent Jamaica is because the American Track Association, whatever it is called, actually give them money. There's a contract where they get money, and in Jamaica we don't really do that except when there is a major event coming up. And so, because it's more lucrative, because they are professional athletes,
Mm.
even if they had Jamaican connections, they would probably represent America more so than Jamaica because unless the athletes perform in the Diamond League and do well in Jamaica, the earnings for them are very, very limited because they don't get monthly income
Right.
from the J3. And so someone was suggesting that that is one of the major reasons why, even if you found some 400-meter athletes doing 44, because we don't have any in Jamaica right now, or 43, in the States who will not make the top six and could represent Jamaica, they wouldn't because it still makes sense for them to represent America over Jamaica. What are your thoughts on that?
It's true. It's true. It's not only America though. A lot of countries, including Great Britain,
Hmm.
and that's why even Mason actually went and competed for Great Britain. One of the reasons, I should say, because you get a stipend every month. You get paid every month because those countries can afford it, and not that I don't think we can afford it unless you get a huge sponsor. Because it's not a one-off thing; it's an everyday thing as long as you're part of the program
Yes,
for
yes.
years. So it's extremely expensive to do that and like the West Indies pay their players stipend every month also, or pay every month as long as you're part of the contract, whatever A contract or B contract. So it goes to say those sports regionally makes money. For US, they can afford it. For Great Britain, they can afford it. For other countries around the world, they can afford it. But for Jamaica, though, to do that, that would be a pretty penny, though. So you are correct, because athletes have to live. They have to live, and their time span in the sport or in
Very
that
short.
career is extremely short. They have to
Mhm.
maximize as much as possible while you're in that arena.
Well said, Sean. I
Yeah.
don't have to add anything to that.
Yeah, because I did ask, like, so if my son is great at the 100 meters and say he wants to go to one of the top clubs in Jamaica, do they when he signs that contract with them, is it that my son would have to pay them to prepare him, or they pay him monthly for joining their club?
Depending if he's great and if he's good any at all, normally you have agents, they are respective clubs on the local
Hmm.
side. So the
Right.
agents make contact with whichever shoe company that is there, and they get a contract through that. Now through
Separately.
that, exactly. So through that contract, whatever written in that contract, the coach get X amount during that contract.
Oh,
So the
okay.
contract may
Percentage.
stipulate, exactly. The contract may stipulate the coaches get 1,000 US, 200 US per month or whatsoever. So the pay is not necessarily coming out of your pocket, but more so out of the contract. It's
Yeah.
out of your pocket, is what the contract be.
Yeah. So everything
Oh,
is
okay.
tied in. So you don't have to really take the money from your pocket directly, so to speak. It comes from the whole allotment of the contract.
Yeah, I like this.
And let
Go
me
ahead, go
jump
ahead.
in here. Like MVP, they tend to, one thing about them which I respect, they tend to, if you are interested in track and field, they tend to, so come train. You may have to show some promise though. But the thing is, no, but I am thinking, because they have one particular athlete which I want to mention later on. I don't know how long this is going to be, but I want to mention later on that this individual took up track and field in 2018, and she may surprise when it comes on to the national senior championships and
All
MVP.
right.
And,
All
mhm.
right. Well, we're gonna get to that, but any you can answer this question because you're in the know and I'm outside the know. So
Well, I
someone is
don't.
asking if
Well,
any
from
spectators will be allowed at the trials.
not that
No,
I know of.
no,
Not
no,
that
no.
I know of.
I'll answer that. No,
All right, here we go. So no spectators.
no.
And the stadium can hold at least, 100.
Can hold a lot more.
30,000.
You know, pandemic. But the thing, so let me just get back to this. Would it be why could the J3 along with the government, the Ministry of
Mhm,
Sports, and I think probably
mhm,
this is not just for track and field, but other sporting discipline, like how the cricketers have a contract, the footballers just signed a contract with the JFF. Can't
mhm.
we have something where our top probably 40 athletes at the senior level or top 30 are given a stipend? I mean,
Are they the one who need the money? No, no. Are they the one who need the money? The top
well,
30, the top 20?
Yeah,
Are they the one who
well,
need the money?
that's a good
well,
question
that
because most
that's it
times,
again.
most times, sorry, I am Manny's one. Most
Yeah,
time, those are the ones with contracts and they are already
Exactly.
earning. They have their medical, they can afford their medical, they can afford their masseur, they
Exactly.
can afford their personal trainer and so forth. So if we give those
yeah.
um top athletes a monthly stipend, we kind of stifling the up and
Up
coming
and coming.
athletes who
Exactly.
wants to do well in the sport, who shows the potential of being a world beater, but because of not being able to, take care of certain things financially, they aren't able to
Yeah,
matriculate. So I
I
mean,
think about this because always heard Bailey Cole. I mean, he has been very vocal about the struggles in terms of track and field and how they are taken care of.
Hmm.
So when I speak of like top 30, a few years ago, I would say that he was in probably more than a few, probably let's say 3 years ago, he would have been in the top tier of male athletes.
Oh.
Um, he yeah, he
No, I'm
wasn't.
not saying a thing. I'm just saying, oh.
Bro, or he had the potential. He was one of those like he was supposed to be taking over from Usain Bolt, along with you and that group of athletes right there who would have taken over from the Usain Bolt. And I think
Hmm.
if he were be given some financial support, maybe his career could have um gotten better or improved. But it appears that he has, maybe because of injuries or not having the finances to take care of his health, he has declined. Or I
Uh,
mean, looks like he's struggling.
I don't know what an individual goes through if I'm not there, to be honest. And persons on the outside speak a lot about an individual who showed major potential at the high school level or the youth level or junior level, but when the matriculation to the senior level comes and the athlete does not fulfill that potential, you hear all manner of talks, this or that. Now, I'm not speaking about Kamara Bailey Cole, young, very gifted athlete, and I still use the term young. But there are a lot of young athletes who got assistance from contracts, who got money from contracts, and it only made them worse. Now, I'm not going to call anyone names, but I think that some athletes got money a little bit too early and did not know how to utilize it. And instead of it helping their career, it carried them down that trail of what you can call it. No,
It drove them down.
I'm not going there with you, coach.
It drove them down. Did it carry them down or it drove them down?
Let me leave that out. But I'm saying, in terms of they didn't have the right people around them to manage them because you can have a manager, you know. You can have a manager. However, the manager can't monitor you 24 hours.
Sure.
So although yes, in terms of assistance, but we must know what we are doing when we are assisting individuals. And as I said already, and I'm saying it again, I'm not speaking about Kemar Bailey Cole. I'm just speaking in general. What I've seen from a lot of the youngsters coming through, showing major potential at the high school level and not living up to their potential at the senior level.
Especially on the male side.
In fact, I was just talking on the male side.
Okay. Okay.
All right. Female management seem to be better, I guess, because they probably are more held grounded by their parents. I think that's probably one of the advantages, because even a 20-year-old young lady coming out of high school is still probably under the
tutelage and guidance
of the parent. There's still parental involvement. I think more when boys get to that age, they kind of move away from being under parental guidance or control to a proper management. And I think that is why we find more success at the girls' level and stability than at the male level.
And also the athlete has to have discipline. To have discipline. And Coach Minzie can tell you this, in terms of an athlete at high school or the high school level, you can monitor what they eat, you can monitor what they drink, they camp at school, and you can monitor that they go to bed on time, you can monitor all of that leading up to champs. However, when you become a professional, nobody's there to monitor you to see if you turn off the light, and see what you eat, if you order pizza late in the night. Nobody's there to monitor you. So you've got a little cash in your pocket now, which you didn't have at the high school level. You can do whatever you want to do with it. It's your choice. And a lot of the athletes who have left high school have made bad choices when they're on their own in the middle of the night to do whatsoever they want to do, not helping their career, not helping their track and field, and not helping them to get more money in their pockets.
And that's right, Sean, because like you said, when they were at high school, they used to get lunch money. Parents send them to school with their lunch money. They weren't able to buy some of the stuff that they would want. Leaving high school, they are able, because they would have been in an environment now that adults thrive. And no one is over their backs now to tell you what to do. Like us as coaches will tell them, you're not supposed to eat that, and they adhere. But when they move away from that stage, now they are in that adult mode. It's a sudden switch. And then it is very difficult for them to be monitored if they are not disciplined and their eyes are not on the prize. So these are the times that they go wayward, they do what they want to do. Some of them don't take the training as serious as they used to. They tend to complain, they tend to rebel because they are now an adult. So these are some of the things that cause them not to, do as well as they are supposed to, if they don't have a good support staff, as well as if they don't have that discipline that will propel them forward.
All right, wonderful. Go ahead, Sean.
No. I think we're taking up too much air time and not discussing the 4 events.
But it's good. It's good, man. It's good. All right, let's get into let's save the best for loss. All right,
Mm.
I think, and then you can tell me if it was actually the best. But I think for the events that I am looking forward to, you can tell me your thoughts. Are the women 100 meters,
Mm.
the men 110 hurdles, the women 110 hurdles, the
100
200
hurdles.
100.
oh
100
100
hurdles.
right,
Yeah.
100 hurdles.
Mm-hmm.
I can't say I'm looking forward to the men 100 meters, but I'm also looking forward to the women 200 meters. So those
Mm-hmm.
are the on that's on the track. Are there any other events that you think will provide greater buzz than any of those events?
What? In the 200
That's
meters for women? No. You have the 400-meter hurdles for
What the
women.
200?
yeah.
Yeah.
What the
You have the
200
400-meter
meters for
hurdles
women
for
with
women.
Sherika Jackson?
And you have the 400-meter flat for women. So
Yeah, you have
yeah,
the
those
400
are
meter flat, you have the 400 meter hurdle, like Sean said. Those events
No man,
are
this all right.
but it's
200.
his choice, Sean.
When
Sean, it's
no
his
man,
choice.
fine enough, fine. When you put the
It's his
names together,
choice.
you know you're gonna see that 200 meter for women is I think it's gonna be better than the 400 meters for
No,
women.
you see, what we're talking about is also quality. Quantity is great, and having competition is great. But we're talking about
Exactly.
world-class quality and times that we'll put down. 200 meters right now, as we're seeing from our
No.
crop of ladies, not
Mm-mm.
necessarily the greatest times right now. So I'm
Oh,
not even looking there, to be
Mm-mm.
honest. I mean, it's going to be there, but in terms of the top events at the championships, and you mentioned the 110 hurdles for men, 100 hurdles for women, 100 hurdle, 100 flat for women, and also the discus for men. Then you have,
Yes.
and then you have the well, shot put not necessarily, but you
triple
have
jump
the
female.
400 and 400 hurdles. And for the 400 men, you wonder who's going to make the qualifying time. Who's going to make the qualifying time?
And that's
No,
what will allow that to be interesting, as well as the
Really?
100 meter.
That's not
yeah,
Yes.
going to
because
be
no,
interesting.
three persons have made the qualifying time already. Demish Gay, along with the two from Henry Roll, have made a qualifying time already from 2019.
Mm-hmm.
However, none are looking so great at the present time.
Yeah.
I can be honest. Demish Gay ran 45 seconds at the J3 Joe is Destiny meet 1 week,
Yeah.
and the following week he ran 46 seconds. He was down to
Mm-hmm.
contest another, but he did not show. So a big question mark is over Demish Gay for the 400 meters. Bloomfield, he had
Rough
an injury
year.
earlier this season, and you don't know what's
Yeah,
happening
just
there.
a rough year emotionally for him. I'm worried
And
about
yeah,
him.
yeah, with his loss of his mother and
Yeah.
stuff,
Yeah.
yeah, it's not, yeah, I don't know if he's going to be here, but if he is, kudos to
And
him.
not expecting a lot if he
No,
turns up.
no.
All right. All right. So let's start with the men 110 hurdles and you know what are your thoughts on that? Like, I mean, I think it's so hard to probably because this new guy Broadbell has just
New
I mean
guy?
out of nowhere.
Oh, here?
Of
Coach Sean,
course. On
Out
the
of
coach
Sa-
means
out
out.
of San Diego.
that's the coach.
Sorry.
Out of San Diego.
Out of San
Monk
Diego.
Street and a Punk Street.
Until he ran that time, many people did not even remember that he was a champs
Yeah,
and
man, he finished third.
finished third
Mm-hmm.
at boys champs and thing. But tell us about it because I mean, is it MVP that has done this, or he had the potential from San Diego because he has surpassed all the persons he competed with in high school.
Um, I think this is one of the top events, separate and apart from the 100 meters on the male side, that will showcase at the national championships. Trust me, it's gonna be humdinger, Sean. It's gonna be mind-boggling what will take place in that event. My concern is that it's a hurdle event and any game can play. That is
I
the
hate,
only.
I
That is
hate
the
when you
only.
guys talk like that. To say, but go
No,
on.
but Sean, it's reality. We can't take it away. It's reality. But put that aside. Put that aside. I believe it's gonna be a very, very competitive race. Might
Mhm.
have a surprise. When you look at the defending champion Omar McLeod for the Olympic champion, he is running himself into shape, into form. He now has the world lead of 13.01 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
He ran that race flawless. I still believe that he could have pressed on the acceleration some more and got a sub 13. But Omar McLeod seems to be back. And once Omar McLeod execute, get his stride cadence, his stride pattern, his rhythm up and about, he is going to be unstoppable at the national trials. I say that without reservation. Now, on the side where we have like a Rashid Broadbell, very good hurdler, the potential was always there to excel. I think it has happened sooner rather than later in terms of his development, but the propensity was always there for him to do well. But like I said, he seemed to have exceeded expectation. He's one of those hurdlers that is very fast as well. He's tall. His technique is good. One thing I have though, the problem with him, he tends to not be as clean as possible throughout the race, where he hits a lot of hurdles, probably 2 or 3, and that can throw your rhythm off. But separate and apart from that, the potential is there. But I mean, going up against these big names, because he has not gone up against any big field as yet, you know. So going up against these Omar McLeod and a stocked field, then you basically see how mentally strong he is. You have a Damian Thomas, who we expected to win that NCAA title. He had a poor start. I hear persons talking about he might be injured, but I'm expecting him to be in the thick of things.
Well,
Ronald Levy is there. Orlando Bennett. Trust me, this hurdle field is going to be. But my pick, Omar McLeod to take home the national title.
I'm going to surprise you all, but our dear Mr. Grant, what are your thoughts? Give us some names. Coach Minzie gave us 5. Give us some names, and what are your thoughts?
I mean, you only can add to that Philip Lemonius.
What about Hansa Parchment?
And hold on.
Oh.
You only can add Philip Lemonius from what we have seen, but you can't leave out Hansa Parchment.
Right.
That's the thing. But going back to what he said, and that's about 7 athletes. Going back to what he said, Omar McLeod cannot disrespect an individual who has won a world championship title and an Olympic title.
Right.
He is the reigning Olympic champion. He's not defending because it's a little English thing there, but the reigning Olympic champion. But
yeah, man, that's true.
but and are you not trouble, you know?
No, man. We say it without even checking the context of English, because you know that sometimes some jargons are used in sports that are not really connected English when you look at the correct English pattern.
No, it's true.
But I get what you said. Mm-hmm.
But what I love about the Bell is that he has run a 13-1-0 so far this season.
Yes.
That's his personal best.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he will get faster. Now, you said something at the start of your monologue about about Omar McLeod and the hurdles is an obstacle race and he can throw up anyone. Now, what we have seen so far from Omar McLeod, and I'm not disrespecting him in terms of his career, if he's not ahead of anyone, he's good to go. And when he puts under pressure, he feels a little wobbly there. He may come through at times and feels a little bit wobbly. But in last World Championships, he took down some athletes physically, that is. But I see that he has corrected that problem because he was angling and hitting and going over the next lane. He has worked on his problem, and I think he has got better at it from what we have seen so far in his performances on the circuit. And I've watched, that's the aspect I'm watching of him drifting over, if he's drifting over one lane or another. Mm-hmm. And I think that it's not 100%, but it's much better than what we saw in the latter part in terms of 2019, 2018, and, well, not necessarily 2020. He has gotten better. He has got back to the Omar McLeod, silky smooth. Mm-hmm. You said something correct. But the Bell, not necessarily the clear and silky smooth, but it's getting better.
Yes, man.
It's getting better. And I've looked at this individual going over the hurdles. Yes, he's a sprinter. You see between the hurdles, the speed between the hurdles. but
Very
also
good.
what he has is power. He
Power,
has
yeah.
height, and I'm talking about Broadbell. He
Yeah,
has
man, I
height.
know. I agree.
He has power. We look at his legs coming off the hurdles, especially off the last hurdle. Look at his feet. Look at his thigh
Yeah,
coming off that last
yeah.
hurdle. Power coming out of the blocks with an individual that tall with power. He does not land in the blocks, so he has a
Right.
good start. If he gets everything together, he can run 13-0. No, I don't know what Amama Cloud will run. I don't know what Amama Cloud will run because he has also gotten fixed that problem that he had and running 13-0 recently. I mean, this week, or is it? Yeah, this week.
Yeah, man.
I mean,
Yeah.
you think
In
that he may get
Florence.
even faster for the national championships, knowing that there are other individuals want to leave him. Can't leave him out. He has run 13-2 this season. Thomas has run 13-2 this season also. You can't leave them out.
I think 13-1 thereabout Thomas has run.
I'm not sure if that
Yeah,
was with
man.
it or not, but what I saw was 13-2, I think. I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure.
Okay.
Yeah. But Thomas is there, and he's a championship athlete. Didn't show that last night. At the
First, I'm
NCAA
seeing that.
championship. Yeah, didn't show it. And then you wonder if mentally, if he's there, if he did have an injury, if he's bothering mentally. So, but it has to be Omar McLeod, and Broadbell has to be in the mix.
Yes.
Who takes third spot for me? Woo! You know, curse but it's a hell of your time. I may go.
I am not sure.
Huh? No, I may go with Levy.
Yeah, man. I think I'm injured towards it. Based on what I saw with Damian Thomas.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna because it was a toss up between both of them for me. But
Mhm.
based on what I've seen with Damian Thomas and knowing the guru himself, Stephen Francis, will get his charges to run faster.
Exactly.
Based on how they have been running, he's gonna get those charges to run faster. And I believe that Levy's probably is gonna be in the 13-1s. Broadbell 13-0 or sub 13, I believe. That's where I'm gonna leave that.
Yeah. I
So
can't
no place
disagree.
for Hans Parchment because he spoke that he has his hurdles technique and all he's doing is doing some strength work and doing some swimming. He's doing a different method or means of training. That's Hans Parchment. So you're not seeing him anywhere. I see Mr. Grant looking all over the place, but you're not seeing Hans Parchment. What about Douche Carter? No place. Orlando Bennett, Michael Aharo.
Orlando Bennett is going to be in the final, though. Orlando Bennett is going to be in that final.
And Ahara returning to the 110 hurdles, trying to do
not this season. It's going to
trying a Melanie Walker.
we see Million Walker running that 100-meter hurdles. Hi, Million, if you're watching, let me not comment any further on that.
So what you're saying, O'Hara won't be running the hurdles? Michael.
Who?
Michael.
No, not this season.
Oh.
Not this season.
So he's back to the 200.
He'll be sprinting this season.
Okay.
For the rest of the season. But I think for next season he'll be doing the hurdles. That's what I think.
All right, that's there you go, people. So Omar McLeod, Broadbell, and Levy. Those are the three that we kind of for the all right. I just think that
Parchment. Don't get me wrong. I'm not disrespecting Hans Parchment, a proven warrior, and has been there, knows how to do it. But I'm skeptical. I'm skeptical
he's
right
not
now.
Racing.
Huh?
He's not racing because I haven't seen him at any event doing anything.
Event in terms of trap meet or event in terms of
trap meet. I haven't seen him at any trap meet. I don't go out, so I don't know if he's going out outside of the trap.
I'm not insinuating anything, that he's going out, but I'm just saying you have to be specific which event you're talking about. But no, I haven't seen him.
I thought there was a fun on those events, but you never know. You understand me there, so. All right. Well, what about now the women 100-meter hurdles? Because that's a race again that we have at least 5 good athletes, top class athletes. I think in that, so it's
Um,
going to be very competitive.
I don't want to go into the entire field though, but Brittany Anderson finally coming to the fore. Can I say finally one
Yeah,
more time?
Yes, man. You can
yeah,
say it
man.
of 10 more times.
Brittany
Oh, sure.
Anderson. No, I'm talking
Which
strictly
school did she attend?
No, she's at a
there.
club.
Veer.
Which school she
No, she
attended
used
first.
to attend. Used to.
Attended. Yeah,
Yeah,
Veer.
she
Veer and
Yeah,
went,
Queens. Veer
yeah.
and
and
then
Queens.
yeah,
And now she's at Tumbleweed.
she's all over. But in any case, after all her
Atrocities.
I don't want to use that term though, to be
Okay,
honest.
okay.
Her teenage years.
Yeah.
Let's call it. Because when you're a teenager, you do different things and live your life or you want to. After all that, and showing the potential from that age, and still having that now, the potential is now bearing fruit. I'm extremely happy with what I'm seeing from Brittany Anderson. And for me, she's coming to the trials or the national championships, as it's now called, quote unquote, as the favorite to take the top spot. No, you can't leave out Daniel and Williams. There's no way you can.
Ants.
Yeah, I leave out. She's coming to bite.
Yeah,
And
man.
and her coach knows when to get her to peak. As we have seen in the past, he has peaked her in the past after a mishap at trials or championships for her to run some fast times. So he knows when to get her to peak. Now, for the third spot, it's up in the air. It's up in the air.
Akira Nugent,
Everyone,
Yannick.
go ahead.
Akira Nugent, Yannick Thompson.
She's
Megan Topper.
She's improving. Megan is improving. Topper also going under 13 seconds couple times this season. Saw her win a race in Europe recently.
She came fourth, I think, in another one.
Yeah.
12
in a Diamond League.
She always disappoint me at the big meets though. I don't know why.
She's getting it. A new coach, new system. She's getting there. But everyone will point to Akira Nugent though for the third spot. Because she won't be doubling up. I don't think she will be doubling up at the National Senior Championships. It's not tertiary education run. This is a National Senior Championship, a lot of professionals. So I think she'll choose her pet event with the 100 hurdles. If she has recovered well from the national from NCAAs and it comes for trials, I think she may get that third spot as a junior.
Yeah.
Now, I think she may get that third spot. I am looking for her to get that third spot. You can call all the names you want to call and who has gone under 13 seconds, Deshauna Hemmings and all, also looking good. Dazay Freeman also looking good. Rosalie Cooper also looking good. And you will have a nudge for Rosalie Cooper. But I'm just saying that you have to point to this young lady who has certainly looked extremely good on the circuit, an indoor circuit, outdoor circuit in the United States. And if she continues on that form, you expect her to make that team as the third individual. That's my three going forward. Akira Nugent is a talented athlete. She knows how to run the 400 meters hurdles. She can carry the 400 meters. She can carry the 200 meters. She can carry the 100 meters, as we have seen this season. And she can do the 100 hurdles. Her pet event is 100 hurdles. She loves it. And I think if she comes for trials, which I think she'll come for trials to that event, if she's well rested from this weekend, she will fire. She'll be firing on both cylinders.
Yeah, man. I want to chime in there on Ants, Daniel. I think her season started a little late based on her season opener. Probably she was dealing with a niggle or something of the sort. You know what I mean? But with the races that she would have had, and you made it clear, Sean, that Coach Lennox knows how to get her ready to peak her. And from what I'm seeing is that her races have been shaving down, coming down nicely. Not the ants that we know, the fast. Probably early season 13.5, 13.4, thereabout. You're not seeing that. But she is actually shaving down nicely. I think that she's behind, but I mean, Coach Lennox knows how to get his charge ready. Now, one disappointment I'm having though is former national record holder, recently turned pro. Is the name Janique Brown? Janique Brown?
Janique Brown. Janique
Yes.
Brown.
She has somehow changed coach, and I've not seen her run any hurdles. She has done, I think, 100 meters, and I am kind of uncertain where she's at, where that is concerned. Will she show up at Charles? Will she come
I don't know.
and break a heart? You know what I mean? But it is something to keep in the back of our minds where Janique is concerned, because she's a very, very talented athlete as well. She has not been running the hurdles. I'm not certain what is happening there, but she if she shows up, the Janique Brown of old, then we might be in for a treat in that event, even though it is already a treat, because I can agree with Sean that Brittany Anderson is now the favorite going into the trials. She has been doing extremely well. She has been weathering the storm of being in the senior ranks, and she's improving nicely. So I mean, she's the one to beat, but you still can't take anything away from
Can I add something?
one of my favorite, the ants.
Sorry. Sorry. Can I add something though? A coach who has come to the fore this season for many, from St. Elizabeth Technical High.
Yeah.
I know coach is Shelley and Fraser Price. And,
I'm telling you.
Mr. Journalist. Formerly of UTech.
Yes.
Formerly of BP.
Prodigy.
He has some athletes he coaches. One is Shelley and Fraser Price. Another of his charge is Shamira Williams.
Oh, yeah.
We somehow forgot about her.
Shamira Williams has been improving
rapidly
through the season. She has run 12.83 seconds, I think, this season. And I think she can go faster. And from what we have seen from this individual, this coach knows how to get his charge at the right time to prime. And I think she'll be well primed for the National Senior Championships. So we mentioned 3, but I won't even call her an outsider, because I think that she'll be right there with the 3rd individual we mentioned.
Yes.
So I think those 2 will be fighting for that third
place. This is a coach that has prepared all he's the one who prepared all the stats, male sprinters. I think they won all the class 3, class 2 and class 1 100 meters. Getting Shelley after Charles' birth to run her fastest time ever. I mean, really, really good coach. I wonder if he has any more athletes down there that could be surprising us outside of
he has don't wear. All this
he's got done.
Don't think they're coming to St. Elizabeth.
Oh, sorry.
They're in town. But he's a coach that he is a student.
He was at MVP.
Yes. He's a student of the sport, and he loves to learn, and he continues to get better as a coach as he gets older. So kudos to him. Let's see what his charges will do at National Senior Championships, but it cannot leave out Shamira Williams in that 100 meters hurdles.
Yeah, that was an oversight. I totally forget her. She should be in the mix, Sean. Definitely.
Yeah.
All right. So exciting. So we have covered 2 events. We're saving the women's 100 meter for last. So I'm going to take out my 200 meters because they say, well, it's neither here nor there. So let's go to the flat 400 because you want to do the flat 400 female?
I was looking at the 400 meter hurdles though.
400 meter. All right, fine. Let's go with the 400 meter hurdles.
Whichever one you want to go with, that's up to you.
I have my top athlete for the 400 meters flat, female. Her name is McPherson, She's my
top what?
She's going to win. Stephanie Ann McPherson. The 400 meters. The 400
semi-final?
With Jacob.
Of course.
She's going to win a semi-final.
I'm telling you. All right, let me hear you.
No, I'm not saying that she's not going to win. I'm just asking you what winning you're talking about.
Semi-final or heat is talking.
I'm joking. No. You have a point. Stephanie McPherson has changed her running. The last time I saw her out, she changed her running style of lagging back.
I'm glad you noticed that.
So she took it to the field at 400 meters, which was good to see from her, rather than running that primary school way of jogging or just waiting back in the background and running on. In this 400-meter field on the global circuit, you have to run.
It's
If you're
a
going to get
sprint event.
Yeah.
So you distribute over the 400. Whether you do it in 4 100s, whether you do it in 200, whether you do it in 250s, whatever. It's just a matter of distribution.
Exactly. And but Sharika Jaka Jackson was 11-0 this season. and look good over the 200 meters.
22, fixing her wig.
I don't know if the young lady wearing a wig. Don't drop it down.
No, not wig. I don't know.
I don't know if the young lady wearing any wig.
Something was wrong with her hair.
Is her earpin she fixing?
Young lady fix something with her hair. Why do you think it's a wig?
Yeah, she's fixing her earpin.
Why do you think it's a wig? Come on, man. No, man. But if it's a wig or not, I don't know. But if it's a wig, let's hope it won't happen like what happened with Okabari.
Yeah.
When she lost hers. But I'm thinking it's not a wig. I'm thinking it's the woman's hair. Whether it was just or not. The fact is that this lady, although we've seen her run the 1 and the 2, I think Stephen or Coach Francis, because I'm not his age, although I may look it, but I'm not his age. They Mr. Francis, maybe he tries different things every single year.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one thing I rate about him. He tries different things. Doesn't come with the same monotonous training program every single year. He changes the program every single year. And maybe it's a development program in terms of this year you do this year you do that, this year you do this in your training regime to work on different aspects of the training regime. One thing about the 400 meters now is speed. And as your head coach always says, speed kills.
Yeah, man.
He always says that. And she has to develop that speed. And I remember a few years ago, I saw the MVP team, which normally goes to the Jamaica Trap Meet in Clarendon, organized by one of my mentors, Mr. Neville Myton, who passed on a few weeks ago. She was at that 100 meters and she ran it, and everyone from MVP was interested with the time. And I said, why are they interested in Jacko times in the 100 meters? Obviously, she was showing some good times in training, and they wanted to see what she'll do amongst the competition. Because remember when she was at Beer Technical, she was a versatile athlete.
Yes.
Yeah, so she ran any event you put her, she'll run. And anchoring even Jamaica's 4x1 team.
4x1.
The global senior team, so she had speed.
World championship.
Yeah, she did the
so she had speed. So the thing about it with this young lady is that if you get that speed and put it in the 400 meters, and break it down, she will be extremely difficult to beat, because he's not thinking about Jamaica. He's thinking about the region. He's thinking about the globe of the competition.
Yeah.
Who she's going to face in the global arena, and what you need to do to go against them in the global arena.
But will she be doubling up though? Will she be doing the 2 and the 4? Because I had her to run a very fast time and winning the 2. Is she doing the 200 and the 400, or she's going to do just the 400?
I don't know what Mr. Francis have her doing, but I'm thinking that she's going to do the 4.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm thinking.
Because let me add to that, Sean. You see, the 400 really has evolved over a period of time. They used to say quarter mile. A lot of us in Jamaica still say quarter mile. But on the books, the 400 meter is a sprinting event. It's
exactly.
It's a long sprint. And like I said earlier, so you distribute your race. One thing I've noticed though, a lot of coaches they have very different regime in preparing their athletes for that 400 meters. You have some will constantly allow the charges to run 400 meters throughout the season. You have some that major on the speed, on splitting the 200, so they run a lot of 200 meters. And now in recent times, you have seen where the quarter milers or the 400-meter athletes are running a lot of 100-meter. Look at Fred Curley, even our own Sherika Jackson. They are running a lot of 100 meters. And that is all aimed to deal with what you call speed. Because it is important that speed is a part of your 400 meters. If you don't have speed, gone are the days when you used to have a 400-meter athlete, endurance runner, or strength runner. No, speed is what is taking place right now. And if you want to run fast, you have to adjust your program. And like I said, I love what Stephen Francis does. He tends to experiment. He tends to adjust his program on a yearly basis in terms of how he allows his athletes to compete, because you don't really know the intricacies of what he does in training, because that is still top secret. But in terms of how you see the athletes compete, it tells you that he's experimenting. It tells you that he's actually trying to go down a particular path, or he is down that particular path already. So, I mean, the 400 meters evolve, and if athletes want to compete, they have to put in the speed work. Speed is one of the things that is hard to come by, so you have to ensure that you constantly work on it. So, I mean, Sherika Jackson, that 400 meter, I think she's easily going to win that event. Easily.
Yeah, but you see, right now, if you look on the rankings, you'll see a young lady from St. Elizabeth Technical, formerly of St. Elizabeth Technical High, Stacey and Williams, out in front with a 50 seconds clocking. So too, Cherokee Young, 50 seconds clocking. Both will be competing today at NCAA finals. But you still have to question that in terms of what they will do at the National Senior Championships when the heat gets hotter and the fire turned up even higher. So you don't know what they'll do though, but I'm glad to see Stacey and Williams running at 50 seconds. I'm glad to see Cherokee Young running at 50 seconds. I'm glad to see that from those two athletes. However, there is a young lady
from UE.
The
one from UE Racers.
Yes, the one formerly of Papine. There's a young lady who has been improving all throughout this year, and I think she has gone 51 seconds. I'm trying to remember if she has gone 51 seconds so far. I mean, she looks good.
Tiffany James.
She looks good. She looks very, very good. Candice McLeod.
Candice McLeod, yes.
She looks very, very good, and I see her improving. I don't know if she'll make the top 3 though, but I see her booking a ticket to the Asian continent on that relay team. But I don't know if she'll be able to improve to make that top 3. Christian Gordon also is there. I don't know what's happening with Christian. She clocked 50 seconds earlier this season. I know she had a slight niggle, but I'm waiting to see what will happen with Christian Gordon.
I really think though, McGregor is doing well, but I think I think Stephanie and McPherson is going to be somewhere up there. Maybe Sherika is really.
I put her in the top 3. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, I think she's going to be in the top 3
with Jacko Jackson. I put those two there in the top 3. But who'll take that 3rd position? If Christian Gordon was 100% and coming in the trials 100%, if she is competing, because I don't see her recently, I would say Christian Gordon that 3rd spot, and the rest will fight for the relay spot. But I'm not sure just yet. But yeah, of course, Stephanie and McPherson. Of course, Stephanie and McPherson. I can't leave her out. No way I can leave her out. But Jacko Jackson is that young lady to actually come through. And for me, we'll take it.
We're looking at medal.
I don't. Mr. Francis is a. You don't know what's on his mind. If he's going to do something new, he's going to do something different. You saw her run 11-0. Then for national senior trials, you look on the events she entered in, and he may see her in the 100 meters. So you don't know. But I don't think that's going to happen though.
I think we've got. Go ahead.
I see Jacko Jackson and Stephanie McPherson, both from MVP camp, rolling on through in that top 3. And however, for the 3rd individual, it's up in the air, to be honest. Candice McLeod is getting better. Everything, I think on the last run, she did not actually give a better time, or just should I say no? Well, let's leave that. Let's give a better time that 400 meters. But she has looked good all throughout.
Yeah, and I think if anyone is going to medal for Jamaica in the 400, it would be Sharika. I mean, at the Olympics. I think
it could be anybody. It could be anybody. And why not? Why not Stephanie? Why? If you're right behind Stephanie and pushing her like that, why couldn't you say that Stephanie will medal also?
I think like Sharika would push. Ebo, her name is. I think she would push her, but I think I see Stephanie picking up a bronze medal. Like
again.
Yeah. I think I don't see her winning the 100 meter at the Olympics. I see her picking up.
No.
Yeah, but I see her like probably coming third. I could see her picking up a bronze medal because I think she has changed a whole lot in terms of how she runs her race, and I think that is going to make a huge difference. I saw her early in the season; she was running some 200, which I think meaning that she was developing her speed, and I think she won the last Destiny meet. I think she won the 400. The time wasn't all that good, and she's from Manning's High School as well, so I have a little soft spot for her. I have a little soft spot.
Stop where?
Manning's.
Which school is that?
Manning.
I don't know.
I always tell people they say Manning's 1738. If you remember that number, you always.
Here we go again. But we have to mention the 400 meter hurdles though. Just mention it though.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting. Rhonda White, I think, will go in as a favorite to take the top spot in that 400 meter hurdles on the women's side. And I think that she has done it already, and I think she'll do it again. We have seen her run a personal best in the 400 meters flat that has shown that she has improved her speed. She has gone to 51 seconds. She has improved her speed in that platform. That means that she'll be getting better. I think she'll run a personal best in that 400 meter hurdle this year. I think she'll take the top spot ahead of the Jellyfish. Jellyfish is back. That Genevieve Jellyfish Russell. She will be there. And then the third individual, everyone searching for that third spot. You see 55 seconds from Anjanette Naformany of St. Jago Advere Technical at the NCAAs. She's running this evening. But you see a lot of 55 seconds from individuals. But for me, who's going to get that third spot is, as long as she's coming in fit. Yeah, she ran at the end of May, which month are we in? June. She ran at the last weekend of May. Cheyenne Salmon. Ran 54 seconds. Exactly what's happening with her. She went away, came back at DC Foster. She's back in the States. She's training a group. But I'm seeing her. I am seeing her in the top three.
I think she's going to be the top three as well. I think it's a bit
It 54 mid, I think. A lot of persons will ask about Leah Nugent running 55 seconds recently, and others adding to the list. But I see, and Mrs. Bailey Cole also there training.
She looked like she struggled. She was struggling. She seemed to be struggling though. I don't know. I mean, she was at the last meet. She because she finished down the track. At the last Destiny a couple Saturdays ago.
I don't know what is happening there, but let's see. And Rochelle Clayton, well, you can't forget about Rochelle Clayton. Rochelle Clayton has improved so much since leaving school. She was at Micro at one point. She was at UE at another point. As she has left school, she has gotten extremely good. She has gotten better. However, I still think that she'll play sport for me. But I hope that she thrown by the wayside if she ever sees this video and said, "Boy, Sean, you have no confidence." But that's how I see it, though. To be honest, And if Cheyenne Salmon is fit and comes out there, I'd love Rochelle Clayton to get that third spot. If you're fighting for that third spot, because I don't think that it's so far apart, the top two from everybody else. But it's going to be a race.
Very competitive race.
It's going to be a race. The women's 400 meters hurdles. Rochelle Clayton going to the big dance, gaining a medal. Although you have done that, like Kristen and Tracy, now named Bailey Cole, you have done that. However, You need to come this year, 2021, to show what you can do. She has not done it just yet, but our coach Akili will be getting her, who is training both she and a young man who has been a world junior twice in that event, Mr. Hyde.
Yes.
Let's see what they can do, or what she can do in that race. It's going to be tough. It's going to be competitive, and you're going to see some good times coming from that field.
I think what we have done so far, because all of these events that we have looked at, the 110 hurdles for men, the 100 hurdles for women, the 400, at the Olympics itself, I could see us medaling, like double medals. Meaning, like in the 110 hurdles for men, I could see us getting 2 medals at the Olympics. I know it's hard, but I see Omar McLeod and Broadbell, like, in the top 3. And because only Bramwell is the only one from the United States. Who else is out there?
No, man. The opening favorite, meaning the early season favorite, Grant Holloway, the 2019 world champion, Grant Holloway, who was when everybody saw him in the indoors, everybody is saying, more so the Americans are saying, okay, everybody's fighting for the silver medal. Everybody's fighting for the silver medal. They never saw Omar McLeod yet. They never saw him put a foot on the track as yet. But everyone was speaking in the indoor season. Oh, Grant Holloway, he's there for the gold. He's going to get the gold. It's there for him to put down. Just put Grant Holloway over that gold medal. But after seeing the last 2 races from Omar McLeod, I went back on Facebook and looked on that list of persons.
Deleted the post.
I don't see them saying the same thing again. I'm seeing Omar McLeod bringing some quietness to that crowd of Grant Holloway followers. Not saying they don't think that Grant will win, but I don't think they think that, he's going to be that gold medal winner. It's already sewn up. No. Omar McLeod performance has shut them up. However, now we can see a race. Now we can see who will come out on top. But getting 2 medals in that men's 110 meters hurdles, it's going to be extremely difficult, because you're thinking about America alone. No, it doesn't work like that. It's going to be extremely competitive, though. But I think that Broadbell, if I know what I know, he's going to improve. And if the time I think is going to throw down, if he does that at the Olympics, he will get a medal.
There you go. All right. Well, to the big one that we're supposed to get 3 medals in, 2 medals in, the women's 100 meter. We're supposed to get 2 medals at the Olympics. Not 1, 2, 3, but 1, 2, or 1, 3. All right? And I know you all believe this is going to happen. Let's look at who is going to make the team first.
Go on, coach.
All right.
Go on, coach.
All right.
That's not so much. Go on, coach. Oh, coach, we don't hear you.
Coach, we're not hearing you, Coach Minzie. We're not hearing you now. All right, I don't know. You want see if I can sign out and sign back in. Maybe you can try that.
I don't want to talk.
Yeah.
Make coach.
Oh, somebody just mentioned Arteaga from Spain for the hurdles. For the 110 hurdles.
To win?
No, to medal.
He's a medal hopeful. He's going to be right in the mix. I mean, you can mention Arteaga if you want, but I mean, he's going to be right in the mix. I mean, from a Jamaican standpoint, we'll hope that our 2 athletes will come to the fore. But I think they have the quality to come to the fore, because we're not even speaking about who will qualify third just yet, whether it be Ronald Levy or Thomas or anybody else. But from what I've seen, and I'm just predicting, because I mean, you can go to trials, and as what Coach Minzie said, you can tear down the first 2 barriers and you're out.
Yeah.
So from what if those 2 individuals make it to the final at the Olympic Games after qualifying for the national team, I'm expecting them to gain some medals. Grant Holloway, though, he wants to spoil the Jamaican party. He wants to break up the dance, the reggae dance, with the hip hop. But I don't care. Revenge is on the mind of the man,
America,
the reigning champion, Omar McLeod.
Yeah.
Remember I said that.
Reigning champion, yeah. So and that's true. That's true. I know. I don't know. I just think like for these events, the quality of athletes puts us in a place where there. I mean, anything can happen, but if all things goes well, I'm very optimistic that we could double medal in these events. Things can people may get injured, but if the progression in terms of time continues, then I think it's realistic.
A lot of things are realistic. In 2008, not many persons thought that would have won a gold and two silver. In fact, I don't think anybody thought would have won that. But a lot of things are realistic. We have seen in the past. However, I don't like to put it up there, meaning put it at
Yeah,
the top. Let's just go for it. No, and then when it doesn't happen, you're being disappointed.
disappointed.
What I will do is just watch and see. But I will, in my mind, though, I'd hope for that. But it's not about hope because you have to look at the other competitors in that event and in terms of the race and the conditions and who is favorable in that condition, in that race to win at that time. So it's a lot of things boils over it, though, especially in the obstacle race, in the hurdles race, I should say. So it's not necessarily okay. You're saying from 3 months out or 2 months out, yeah, this we will win or we will get two medals. No, it can't. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that because you don't know during the semifinals if an athlete will get a niggle. We've seen Frederick Dacres gone to the Olympics and cut his finger in training and couldn't throw the discus as he wanted to. So I mean, a lot of things can happen during preparation phase, during your journey on trying to get that global medal.
Yeah. All right. Well, let me give my picks at the 100 meter until the other expert comes in. Yeah. See
No,
that
man, the
man.
expert man. That's the expert.
So of course, I mean, one woman stands alone. She
Who's
stands
that?
alone. She's above them all.
Who,
You know.
Shakari? Man, no, we talk.
Uh,
We
uh,
talk.
no, no,
I don't.
man. No, man. What? Shakari stopped running. Shakari run off her mouth and now she stopped running. All right. Instead of
Um,
she saw
what she
Shelly's
has done? No,
time.
no,
What she
no.
saw
What she has
Shelly's
done?
time and stopped running.
No, what she has done. No, she's preparing for trials. But what she has done is that she has, because of the talking, she has actually brought some relevance to the 100 meter for women. That's what she has done. So, in other words, everybody know, and I'm not talking from a standpoint of Jamaica. I'm talking standpoint from the global aspect, from what I've seen and the comments I've seen and I've read, is that right now, for the first time, I think for the first time at the Olympic Games, more interest is generated in the women's 100
100.
than
Yes.
for the
Listen.
first time from I've been watching the Olympics. I may be
Yeah.
wrong, but from the comments I've seen online, and I'm not talking about Jamaican comments or American comments, global comments, a lot of interest is in that women's 100 meters. And partly due, whatever you want to say, she can be brash, she can be what
Yeah.
push her chest up because of Shakara Richardson, what she has done on the track and what she has said. And maybe if you put her in the role of a villain, she doesn't care. She
She's
just
a,
wants to
she,
go there and perform and do her best.
She's a Justin Gatlin of women sprinting. Like to
Um,
talk.
not necessarily. Justin Gatlin backed it up. I mean, persons were calling her the queen, and I had to ask, queen of what? Queen of NCAA's in 2019. For you to be a queen, you have to have a crown. What crown does she has? See, but it's good. It's good though. It's entertaining to have those discussions to pique persons' curiosity, to bring an interest to that individual event. It's extremely good.
Yeah. I know Coach Minzie said he had to leave, so let me just run through my list and then I'll hear
Oh, you had
yours.
to leave.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So let me just so we can wrap up. I know you're also very busy. So I have
Yeah.
Shelly,
Mm-hmm.
Elaine,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to go with Brianna, though Natasha Morris is running well. I think Natasha Morris probably going to get fourth.
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to be our the relay team.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm hoping that Elaine Achilles doesn't act up any at all. And she's taking these couple of weeks before the trials to recover. I hope she doesn't do anything in terms of major events. And at the Olympics, I think watching as they go through the rounds, I think I see Shelley and Elaine possible medal with Asha Smith. I don't even see Shakara Richards
Oh,
after the
really?
rounds. No, I think she's going to struggle because of the rounds and the competition.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, the 100 meters, listen, it's loaded now. You have Talu.
Mhm.
You have Okenbari. I mean,
Mhm.
like, I almost think, like, where are they going to medal?
Well, let's look at who will make the team first. And
Yeah.
one of the individuals I've been watching all season, which has piqued my interest this season, is a young lady from MVP. And let me use the term young. She's about 28 years old this year in 2021. She's 28. She born 1993. Yes, it makes her 28 years old this year. Nobody knows much of her. I have done some research in terms of any school results. I have not seen any school results. I've been told that she never did a track and field at high school. She went to the University of Technology, and I saw her progression rate from 2018, and she was running 12.21 at that time, at 12.31, and she cut it down in 2019, 11.5, 11.7, I think, and then cut it down again. I didn't see much of her in 2020, and she ran the intercollegiate in 2019, I think placing fourth or fifth. And then you saw some results from her this year. No, she's 28 years old this year. She's 28. Has no experience in high school track and the field.
Oh.
No, hold on. She's at MVP. Her time cutting down from 2018, 12:21, 12:31. Now she's at 11 teens, 11-1. She ran at Destiny Meet at least 2 races this season, and she ran 11-1. That's her personal best.
Personal best.
When you see an individual cutting down times like that, have no battle scar from high school. She had a little hamstring problem. I went on her Instagram page and she posted that a few weeks ago, a few months ago, or something like that, and she was thanking God to be back on the track, to be running that. And you had some injuries this season, and you're running 11-1. You're a part of MVP. That means
something is happening.
Project. So I start to rub my beard of this young lady, and I am leaving her somewhere there, but never out of my conversation. Never out of my conversation. Her name is Shakoria Wallace, if I'm pronouncing her first name properly, Shock Eria, I think, Shakoria Wallace. She is a no name from nowhere.
Because I've never heard of him. And she ran the Destiny.
Yes. She has won a race. I think she placed about second or third. In another, she is an individual you have to look out for, not winning or placing second or maybe third, but you have to look out for with one eye. Shakoria Wallace. You have to look out for her. In terms of her times, MVP loves to do things like that. And I shouldn't even be on this forum saying that, but MVP loves to do things like that. Probably
under the radar. Under the radar. They operate under the radar with some of the athletes. Always have every season they have one athlete like that. Like a breakout athlete.
And maybe she's for next year. But I'm still looking on her this year. Not a lot of people knew that Shelley made the world championship team 2007. But she's under the radar, flying, but she's still flying.
Yeah.
But here it gets interesting. You say Brianna for third. The top two persons will say, okay, Shelley and Elaine. Because from what you've seen from Shelley, from what you've seen from Elaine. And both were holders of the national record of 10.0. Right. Were. However, that has changed since last week. But the thing about it now is that third place, everyone says, Brianna. Brianna.
I have an ex-athlete that I think could, you have Natasha Morris, but I mean, the former Mount Alvernia,
You're going with
I
Kemba
see.
Nelson, NCAA athlete again. You're going Kemba Nelson,
Kemba Nelson.
a former NCAA athlete again. Not
Yeah.
a former NCAA athlete running this.
Athlete. Yep.
She has improved. She was at MVP. Went
Right,
there
and
pretty
she
early from Mount Alvernia and left and last year and went away, I can say.
yeah.
And it's been her thing. But when she was at MVP, she showed improvement every single she was there 2 years, every single year. And she exploded this year. But I'm going with Natasha Morrison. I may be going west, I may be going north, may not be going south, but I'm going with Natasha Morrison. Not because she has colored her hair. It looks extremely
her time has been going down as well. I mean,
yes, but
yeah.
she went over to Sprint Tech at GC Foster College under the tutelage of Coach Maurice Wilson, going back to MVP, and that showed you with going back to MVP and has been doing so well. That showed you that the Sprint Tech had her at a good, very good position in terms of her training, and
Right.
for MVP to take over, and she's flying. When you watch Shelley's race last week, and you can watch it over as much as you want to, Natasha Morrison was there for the first 6, 7
30.
meters. Yeah, no, it wasn't 30, but about 10 meters. Because she started to leave her. Depending on the angle of my phone. By the way, do you know that? Do you know that video is my video?
Yeah.
Not the one with Renata coming, not the TVJ one. It's another one with you here, Ricardo Chambers commentating.
Oh yeah, is there a video? Oh,
That's my phone. That's my phone.
It was your shot.
It was
that was a more almost like a
well,
stern shot. Yeah.
I was right there with the TVJ cameraman, and I used my phone. And I sent it all over the place, but I didn't put my name beside it. But who cares? Everybody it across the world, and that makes me feel good. But it was my shot. But the thing about it, the angle of that where my phone was to take that race, because you know that nobody can really come in the stadium, and take that race. It may seem like she's right beside her after 30 meters, but she wasn't.
I think that is what happened. It looks like she's beside her until around 30 minutes, then Shelley just steps away.
She was moving away. She was moving away from her. But for the first 10, she was there with her. And I showed you that her start is being worked on. Her start is being worked on. Running 10.95 when an individual in front is running away is extremely good. That shows she's composed. Now, persons have it down that, Natasha, when it comes on to the real thing, she melts. There's no melting this year. She's not going to be out in the sun. She's not going to melt. I'm thinking she's going to give her best performance at the National Senior Trials, and then a story will be made from that 100 meters. In fact, as a journalist, you'll have at least 4 or 5 stories to tell. Because how can you even disrespect a lady who came to the global tournament, that's a global event, the Olympic Games, in 2000, and with a relay, and as a teenager, and maybe, and I'm not saying it's what it is, and maybe she wants to bow out or track at the field the same way she came in on the Olympic Games. I'm talking about VCB. Was it VCB back then in 2000? Was VC? But VCB, I'm sorry. She's cutting down her time. She ran 11.2 recently in Miami. But she's cutting down her time. I'm talking about the relays now. The relays.
I find it, listen.
You find it difficult. You're going to tell me you're going to find it difficult for her to make a relay team. I'm fine. And most persons are going to find it difficult. But you can't forget this young lady has heart. You can't forget this young lady is a champion. When she was told that she can't do it. When she was told that she's not going to win. This woman.
And here's why, because you know why? You know why though? All right, Shelley is going to do under 11. Elaine under 11.
Yeah.
Natasha under 11. Brianna under 11. Under 11. I think Kemba is going to be under 11.
Difficult, but go ahead. Yeah. 5.
And I'm going to bring somebody who probably Jamaica don't remember. Former Mount Alvernia High School athlete as well. That I think she's going to be at the trials. Don't know. No on Monday. Grenion.
Yeah, I'm fine. You want to bring her, no problem. You bring her. Carry her come. Nothing is wrong. No, nothing is wrong with that because I'm not disrespecting anybody. So you carry her come. I'm just saying I'm not leaving her out. I'm looking on Veronica the corner of my eye. She may run in the semifinals and don't make it to the final. But it wouldn't surprise me, though, to be honest,
If she make it.
if she go to the final and makes that relay team. It wouldn't surprise me because
It would surprise me. It would
she has
surprise me.
experience.
Yeah,
That's one
that
thing
is
she
true.
has over most is experience. Don't forget that.
Yeah, that is true.
She's just coming from having a baby and she's coming back also. But maybe it's too late. I don't know. But I'm saying I'm watching her times cut down also, and let's see what she has up her sleeve for next week.
Well, it's amazing, you know. It's amazing how we have this discussion and mention Brianna. I would even call Kevion Davis' name.
To do what?
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm just saying, just because the thing at the last Carifta was who is better, Kevion or Brianna, and I mean the transition.
We're talking about form athletes, and she's not showing any form at this present time. So for World Championship next year, maybe a different story. But for now, I leave out Kevion out of the argument. And yes, Wayne Roach, have your fun. But guess what? Do your thing. But I'm leaving Kevion out of the argument right now, to be honest. Kemba Nelson, as you mentioned before, it is also going to be in that mix. But Sasha Lee Forbes is going to be there.
Sasha Lee has been doing well.
Yeah, but it's one of the hottest races.
Yeah, man, I think. Yeah.
The 100 meters. You can say Shelley because from what we saw of her. You can say Elaine from Mrs. Hera from what you saw of her. I can say Natasha Morrison, Brianna Williams from what you saw of them. Kemba Nelson on the NCAA circuit. You can call all of that, but yet still, it's a wide.
VCB. You have to mention.
Make any mistake. You cannot make any mistakes in that race. You can't have a bad start. There's apart from what we've seen from Shelly in that Saturday morning stroll to a national record, and the second fastest athlete, or the second fastest time, the second fastest athlete overall. I think they have 3 times better than her, but by the same individual.
Yes.
So you have to say no. Let's see. Let us see what will happen. Let us see what will happen. But it's going to be extremely hot inside that national stadium. I can't wait.
Yeah. Hey, listen, Mr. I have a question. There's someone, Joseph Gray, asking if you think Kevion Davis will be at the trials. I believe so. I think she's going to do the 200. I don't think she's going to look at the 100. I think if she's at the trials, she's probably focused on the 200, not to make it, but just to get some timing. That's what I think.
I wouldn't tell her not to come. I would tell her to come and compete at the 200 meters. But I'm skeptical from what I'm seeing of Kevion this season. And sometimes athletes have niggles and you don't know about it. Sometimes some athletes are dealing with issues and you don't know about it, so you don't know. She ran 23 seconds flat to make it to the final of the NCAAs this afternoon. She ran 22.5 earlier this season to make it make it to the final in a big dance at the NCAAs. But I don't know. I'm looking at. I'm seeing. But undoubtedly, this is one of the most talented junior we have seen in a Jamaica uniform for years. However, we have seen what I don't want. We have seen talented Jamaican juniors that have not gone on. So I'm just waiting and seeing. I'm hoping for the best.
Yeah. All right. Final question, and then I'll let you go. But the time so much. We're supposed to do an hour. No, we're an hour and a half.
I think I need to go. But anyway, go ahead.
But final question, and then I'll let you wrap up and tell them about Sean's Law podcast and where they can find it. But it says don't forget Natalia White.
Natalia White. In fact, both Janelle Smith and Natalia White.
What is Janelle Smith? Oh my God.
Yeah, but she's coming back. She's coming back. She had an injury issue. She's coming back. Both are in the same camp at Henry Roll. Natalia White ran 11-1, 11 teens this season. I'm looking out for her though, being exceptional athlete. No, you had her coach earlier on, not necessarily because that's a Jago athlete.
Yeah.
But I'm not seeing enough of her this season, to be honest. But when you talk about talent And Tyler White, who has had some injury issues all throughout her junior career, leading into her senior, is there. Janelle Smith, who's a tiger from Wilmer's high school days, straight up, who won that girls 100 meters when she was not the favorite to win it. But she's just coming back from injury, so I'm not asking too much from her. But let's see what will happen though. But I think she'll make the final, but it's going to be difficult for Janelle Smith to go through. But I don't know what White is doing at this present time.
And like I said, I think the top 5 may go below 11. You know, I just think like the race is going to be so competitive, and if everyone is in good health, the wind is good and legal, we could have for the first time 5 athletes going below 11 in the women's 100 meter. I think that would be the first time at our check. Go ahead.
Do you remember 1992 Barcelona Games?
Yes.
The top 5 athletes in that women's 100 meters was from 10.82 to 10.88. Maureen Otte placed 5th, running 10.88 seconds. I don't expect that to happen at the National Senior Championships, but what I expect to happen is that what you just said, a top 5 running under 11 seconds.
Yeah.
It won't be from 10.82 to 10.88. No.
Yeah.
And it depends on the wind, though. It depends
on the wind. Because I can't see Elaine allowing Shelley to give what Jamaica would call donkey legs, because that's what happened with the 36-3. I don't see Elaine allowing that sort of gap. So it's going to be very, very good. I just think that race, I wish we could do it this week and just do it next week to see it over and over, because I want to see both of them at their best at the trials to put pressure and all the other global athletes who, like the Asher Smith, who is doing well, and the Okembari, and I want them to run so well that when these guys hear the time and see it, they immediately are under immense pressure coming into the Olympics. So that's what I'm looking for.
I don't even care about that. I don't even care about that. But you can go and hope for that. But I'm going to leave it over. But
man, thank you so much. Thank you so much. But I'll give you the last word to share. Let the people know where they can find you and close out what you want.
All right, no problem. Just saying that Sean's Law YouTube page, can go on it. It's going to be interesting though, the national championship, but the Sean's Law YouTube page, that's where I give my opinion on different sporting activities and different sporting events. But the national senior championships will be lit, as what the young people say. I'm learning that term. It'll be lit. You know what that means?
No.
It'll be crazy. It'll be exciting.
Are you sure that is what it means?
It will be lit. So the national championship will be, I'm talking as a young individual now. When you have son, hell of a thing. So it's lit when it comes up for the June 24. It will
27.
be lit. Excitement all throughout, but not only on the track though, but also in the field, because in the men's long jump, you have about 4 persons over 8 meters. Yes, you expect Tajay Gale to win that, but from what you saw of him on Saturday, at the long jump arena at the J3 Joy Destiny meet, he had 2 two no jumps.
I think the wind. I think he said the wind was an issue.
He can't say anything he wants to say. But the thing is, if you're running that fast now, which you're not used to, and you have a 2.5 wind at your back, it's going to be an issue with the speed that you have now. So the wind was an issue, but I'm thinking his speed is an issue also. He has a niggling knee problem that he needs to correct. But Tajay Gale, if he gets better, which he gets faster, he may go for that world record. So I'm just saying what I'm saying. But I can't wait. Next couple of days, a week and a half or so, 24 will be lit. And I guess I'll be on KLS radio.
Man, I will listen out for you. And again, thank you. Listen, I just have one really emotional, that young lady who ran the 800 meters, forgot her name. But she said that she couldn't walk in a few years. And I hope just out of just what she has been through, that she can meet the qualifying time and qualify for the 800. I'd really love that for her, with the RD she had to deal with. And so I want to see her in the 800 just because of the sentimental feel I have with her experiences and stuff. I know she may not medal, but just to qualify to go to the Olympics, I think could encourage and motivate her. Yeah. Yeah. So.
Yeah. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, but Mr. Grant, like I said, I know you don't think that, but when I speak about track and field in Jamaica, you're up there, and I know these things go global. A lot of people look out for you. So people, if you have not yet checked out his YouTube channel, please do so. I mean, he knows the sport. I know he doesn't compare himself with Hubert and Bruce James and all of these guys, but I mean, he is excellent. I listen to him a whole lot, and I take many of his views and share them because he's very analytical in terms of the sports and widely learned. So check him out and really appreciate the time. Appreciate your Coach Minzie. Also check out Coach Minzie's program. He has a thing called Coach's Desk. He
Good.
On YouTube, very good. Lot of football stuff and covers extensively the Reggae Boys. So please check them out. Thank you so much for all the persons in the comment section, all of those out there who have subscribed to the channel, really support it. Listen, it's One Jamaica, and this is just giving our sport broader platforms for our athletes, because we are moving outside of mainstream media, adding to the whole game. So support the persons out there who are doing the good work. Remember, please stay safe. If you're going to the beach, wear your mask. Don't swim with it, but wear it. All right. All right, Mr. Grant, thank you so much. And we'll be in touch. We'll be in touch. And
Yeah, man, no problem. No
hope
problem
we
at
can
all.
come back and see if we were seeing in a crystal ball or we're seeing through a silver ball. How many of the picks we get right at the end.
I have no problem. I have no problem with that at all. I have no problem with that at all.
Yeah, man.
All right.
All right, blessings.
All right, respect, man.
All right, thank you, one and all. Again, have a great day. Again, on Monday we have a special show lined up for you. Please remember, it starts at 10 o'clock, right? We have an athlete who will be at the national championships who will be here with us. So join us Monday at 10. Big up, yes, Unseen Sports TV. How could I forget? Javon Parchment. Check him out, right? He has a very good interview over there with Alfredo Montesa, former technical director, coach of the Reggae Boys, talking about football. So check out Unseen Sports. Like and subscribe. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of the day, and we will see you again on Monday.